Liv Morgan to add a new member to the Judgment Day to counter Finn Bálor and Roxanne Perez? Exploring the possibility. After recently taking a leave of absence from WWE, Liv Morgan returned to the company to find that her Judgment Day teammate Finn Bálor had introduced Roxanne Perez to the group, much to the chagrin of Morgan. There has certainly been friction between Morgan and Bálor in recent weeks, and the former Universal Champion pushing for Perez's addition to the stable has only increased that tension. Forever the one to get the upper hand as well as wanting to grab a headline, Morgan may look to get one over on Bálor by bringing in WWE's latest high-profile signing into the group, Mariah May. The former AEW Women's World Champion made her shocking debut for the company this past Tuesday on NXT. While the Glamour is currently a part of WWE's developmental brand, do not be surprised to see her on the main roster sooner rather than later. That said, the angle is speculative at this point. Liv Morgan knew WWE could trust her to lead the women's division. Liv Morgan had a career-defining 2024, as she captured the Women's World title and was involved in one of the biggest storylines on Raw alongside Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. While many see Ripley as the flag-bearer of the women's division, Morgan stated in an interview with CNN News 18 last year why WWE was right to put as much stock in her as it does in the Eradicator. "I wanted to prove that you don't need to put all your eggs in Rhea's basket. You can put some eggs in my basket," and so the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour was pretty much me proving I'm just as much of a star as Rhea, and if you don't believe me, watch me, and I feel like I've solidified that and proved everyone who thought differently wrong. Now, one of the key members of the Judgment Day, as well as the top heel in the women's division, Liv Morgan, has certainly established herself as one of the biggest stars in WWE today. It will be interesting to see what the future holds for the Miracle Kid, legendary WWE star, to beat Dominic Mysterio and win the Intercontinental Championship. Exploring the chances. Dominic Mysterio has been basking in glory since winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41. He has 2 successful title defenses against Penta under his belt, and fans have been wondering who his next challenger could be. It looks like WWE has already teased his next opponent. A legendary star might step up against Mysterio on the upcoming episode of Raw. AJ Styles could challenge Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Though the chances of him dethroning the champion are low, the 2 superstars could soon start a feud on the red brand. The Phenomenal One failed to win the Money in the Bank qualifying match last week. Many believed that he would disappear from Raw following that. However, PW Insider recently reported WWE has plans to feature Styles regularly on the upcoming episodes of Raw. It indicates that he would be involved in a major program, which could potentially be with Dominic Mysterio. This week on Raw, Paul Heyman confronted AJ Styles backstage before his qualifying match in an attempt to manipulate him to drop out of the bout and focus on winning the Intercontinental Championship. However, the Phenomenal One did not buy into Heyman's idea, but he did make it clear that he would chase the IC title. It was seemingly a major hint that Styles would soon feud with Mysterio on Raw for that coveted title. Besides, the Judgment Day member has been directionless since WrestleMania 41, and a feud with the legendary star would put him in the spotlight. AJ Styles to face Dominic Mysterio at Night of Champions? Dominic Mysterio has not defended the Intercontinental Championship since the Backlash PLE. With Money in the Bank taking place this week, he is set to miss another premium live event. However, Night of Champions could be where WWE might finally make him defend his gold. He could compete in a marquee match with AJ Styles with the championship on the line. The Phenomenal One is currently not involved in any active storyline on Raw. With him losing his Money in the Bank qualifying match, Triple H might decide to put him in a prominent feud. Night of Champions will take place in Saudi Arabia, where WWE often looks to stack the card with legends and icons. Given AJ Styles' star power and popularity, his addition will add grandeur to the spectacle. Dominic Mysterio has also become a polarizing figure in WWE in recent times. Hence, the WWE Universe might witness the two superstars clash in a blockbuster match at Night of Champions. However, this is currently speculation, and it all depends on what Triple H has in his mind. Tag Team Gauntlet will decide Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez's challengers at WrestleMania 41. Next week on WWE SmackDown, a women's tag team gauntlet match will be held to determine who will face off for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 41. The match was confirmed during Friday's episode of WWE SmackDown. The winner will then move on to challenge Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the belts at WrestleMania. According to WWE, the teams in the gauntlet will include Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, B-Fab and Myken, Alba Fire and Piper Niven, and Natalya and Maxine Dupree. Elsewhere for SmackDown, Cody Rhodes will make his return to the show. Rey Fenix will also be in action, going up against Berto, and Damian Priest will go face-to-face against Drew McIntyre. Conspicuous by her absence is Alexa Bliss, who many believed would challenge Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez at WrestleMania 41 after what went down at Elimination Chamber. What do you make of the news? Are you excited about the gauntlet match? Who do you think should win and move on to WrestleMania 41? Let us know your thoughts by sounding off in the comments section below. Alleged Liv Morgan stalker reportedly arrested outside WWE Performance Center. Read more. https://www.wrestling.com/1877662/wwe-liv-morgan-stalker-performance-center/ Local authorities in Orlando, Florida, were reportedly present outside the WWE Performance Center following the June 3 episode of WWE NXT, arresting someone accused of stalking the former WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. The story was first reported on social media, where ex-user at NXTwithNaji posted at 10:47 p.m. Eastern Time that a legit stalker had been arrested outside the Performance Center, noting that multiple bags of evidence had been taken in by police on the scene. Shortly after, the user updated the story by stating the alleged suspect, whose name is not yet available, is WWE star Liv Morgan's stalker. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com later corroborated that allegation, stating that WWE had been made aware of the situation and called in authorities as a result. Wrestling Inc.'s editorial team has reached out to WWE and is awaiting details from the Orange County Sheriff's Office's Public Information Officer to confirm these reports. It has also not been confirmed if Morgan was even at the Performance Center on June 3, as she did not feature on that night's episode of WWE NXT, or the episode of WWE Evolve which was taped on the same day. The boundaries between wrestlers and their fans have sadly been crossed on a number of occasions over the years, most notably with former WWE star Sonya Deville, whose stalker, Philip Arnold Thomas II, broke into her home in 2020 as he attempted to abduct her. Thomas was later arrested for the incident, and in 2023, he was sentenced to 15 years behind bars, and will serve another 15 years of probation after he is released. Alleged Liv Morgan stalker reportedly wasn't the only person arrested at WWE NXT taping. Even as details just start to come in about June 3's stalking arrest at the Performance Center in Orlando, we learn about a second incident that took place on the same night. Sean Reuter has been thinking too much about pro wrestling since at least WrestleMania I, and blogging about it for SB Nation and Cage Side Seats since around WrestleMania 28. While digging into reports that someone who's believed to have been stalking Liv Morgan was arrested outside of the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida last night, June 3, PW Insider learned there were actually two people apprehended in seemingly separate incidents during the Tuesday night taping of NXT. While digging into reports that someone who's believed to have been stalking Liv Morgan was arrested outside of the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida last night, June 3, PW Insider learned there were actually two people apprehended in seemingly separate incidents during the Tuesday night taping of NXT. Insider's Mike Johnson received a statement about one arrest from the Orange County, Florida, Sheriff's Office. The time listed on the arresting officer's report, which Johnson did not publish, lines up with the earlier report about a stalker, but neither the arrest report nor the statement mention Morgan or stalking. Here's the statement. Johnson later spoke to WWE sources, and based on that conversation reports that the story making the rounds that a suspected stalker for Liv Morgan was apprehended outside the Performance Center is 100% legitimate. But those sources also told him about the second arrest. There are even fewer details on this arrest, other than that it was not made by local authorities. That led Johnson to conclude a much larger agency is involved. In 2025, that very well could be ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, but that's just supposition on this writer's part. Whatever agency it was, the report stresses this arrest is completely separate from the one made by the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Liv Morgan shows off injury she suffered during June 2 WWE Raw. Update on TNA title in NXT, Roman Reigns reaches rare milestone. WWE has confirmed that the Trick Williams vs. Mike Santana showdown for the TNA World Championship will serve as the main event of the evening on tonight's live episode of WWE NXT on the CW network, from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. For those interested, check out our complete WWE NXT results June 3rd, 25 here at WrestlingHeadlines.com. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan had a rough night in the office on Monday, June 2, 2025, coming up short in a triple threat Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match on WWE Raw on Netflix in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In addition to losing a chance to secure the final spot in the women's ladder match at this Saturday's WWE Premium Live event in Inglewood, California, the Judgment Day member also suffered a pretty bad laceration on her forehead during the bout with Ivy Nile and Stephanie Vaquer. Still pretty through, Morgan wrote as the caption to the photo on her official Instagram page. The WWE Superstars with 10 million or more followers club on Instagram just got a bit more crowded, as Roman Reigns finally hit the milestone 10 million follower mark this week. With Reigns now having over 10 million followers, he joins a list of 6 additional current or former WWE wrestlers who have 10 million or more followers on Instagram.